Fables of La Fontaine, The Old Man, and the Three Young Men. An old man planting a tree was met by three joyous youths of the village near, who cried, "It is dotage a tree to set at your years, sir, for it will not bear unless you reach Methuselah's age. To build a tomb were much more sage. But why, in any case, burden your years with care for other people's enjoyment? 'Tis for you to repent of your evil ways. To care for the future is our employment." Then the aged man replies, "All slowly grows but quickly dies. It matters not if then or now, you die or I, we all must bow Soon, soon, before the destinies, and tell me, which of you, I pray, is sure to see another day? Or whether e'en the youngest shall survive this moment's interval? My great-grandchildren, ages hence, shall bless this tree's benevolence, and if you seek to make it plain that pleasing others is no gain, I for my part truly say, I taste this tree's ripe fruit today, and hope to do so often yet, nor should I be surprised to see, though truly with sincere regret, the sunrise gild your tombstones three." These words were stern, but bitter truths, for one of these adventurous youths, intent to seek a distant land, was drowned just as he left the strand. The second, filled with martial zeal, bore weapons for the common weal, and in a battle met the lot of falling by a random shot. The third one from a treetop fell and broke his neck. The old sage then, weeping for the three young men, upon their tomb wrote what I tell. Well, there you have it. What's this all about? An old man planting a tree. Three young men come by and basically laugh at him and tell him he's foolish, he shouldn't bother, he'll never see the fruit of this tree, and he should be spending his time building a tomb, not planting a tree. Ha ha ha. Well, he rebukes them, and he basically says, look, you don't know. You might die today, you might die tomorrow. I might see all three of you die. But this tree that I plant, my great-grandchildren will enjoy it. And because of that, I taste this tree's ripe fruit today. In my imagination, I can see in the future the joy that this tree is going to bring to my descendants and to everybody else. So, sadly, this happened. The first of the young men drowned. The second one was shot in a distant battle. And the third fell out of a tree and broke his neck. So, although the old man was very sad to see this, that's what happened. So, that can be anybody's lot. You're not guaranteed a long and healthy life. You have to cherish your time while you're here. Make the most of it. And planning for the future isn't just planning for your future, it's planning for the future of your descendants and everybody else in society. You can do things at any time that will benefit future generations, and although it may not be your responsibility to do so, if it gives you pleasure to do that, then it gives you pleasure to do that. And although you will not see this unfold, you can in your imagination. There's a famous story about Walt Disney. He planned and designed the Epcot Center, and then he died before it was completed. And when they opened the Epcot Center, his wife, his widow, was interviewed, and the interviewer said, "Well, it's really sad that he didn't live to see this, come to fruition." And she replied, "Oh, he saw it all right." And it's true. When you build a house, or when you build anything, the first thing you have to do is you have to envision it in your mind. You have to see it, complete it, blueprint, plans. Then, after you have a clear plan in your mind, you can lay it out and figure out how to do it. And whether you need an architect or an engineer or whatever to work out the details, that's what planning is all about. You see it, you envision it, and then you make it happen. And you can do this with your whole life. If you just live your life day by day, it's going to be very difficult to have a wonderful life. But if you think backwards and you see yourself as an old person, and imagine that you're old and you're thinking back on your life, well, where do you want to be when you're old? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be surrounded by grandchildren and great-grandchildren, happily enjoying your presence? Well, how do you make that happen? You have to work backwards, reverse engineer it from that point back. Well, obviously you're going to have children. Obviously you're going to have money. How do you make money? Well, you have to plan it. What's a good career? What's a career that you can enjoy doing and make money so that you can be the old person living comfortably without pain? This is what you have to do. You reverse engineer it from the end, think back. Well, to get this job, you're going to have to get an education. To get this education, you're going to probably have to save money or find a way to finance this. When you get that good job, you're going to have to invest for your future. You're going to have to think about future, plan for the future, so that you can have this future. And then, prior to this education, you want to be healthy, so you have to plan for that. If you're going to smoke and drink and do drugs and eat crappy food and stay up late all the time, how's this old person going to turn out? Now, granted, there are no guarantees in life, which is what this man says. These three young men could easily die. And unfortunately, in this story, these three men do die. But you plan for the best. You plan for the worst, you hope for the best. There are no guarantees. Personally, I'd planned out my investing future. I had a great nest egg, lost it. Now I'm older, and it's going to be very difficult to rebuild that. I don't have the energy. I probably don't have the time. And yeah, I probably don't have the ability to do that. Maybe I can. Maybe I can replan. My life's not over. But if I had the chance to do it again, I would have done the same thing, because you think about where you want to be in the future. If you want to be surrounded by your loving children and your loving grandchildren and your loving great-grandchildren, well, you're going to have to plan a good relationship with these people. If you want a good marriage, you have to plan it. If you just take it day by day and shoot from the hip and hope for the best, if you want a good, healthy body, you have to plan that. You have to exercise. You have to eat right. You have to avoid bad things. You have to get rest, recuperation, try to avoid too much stress. All these things can be planned well in advance to ever doing it. And again, there are no guarantees, but you have to think about these sorts of things if that's what you want. You envision it, you plan it, you work your plan. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice, there's going to be a lot of tough times, there's going to be a lot of second guessing yourself, but if you keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on what you want, learn how to master your life, follow a plan, achieve your goals, that's the best chance for you to actually be able to do this. Anyway, if you have anything you'd like to add, down below, please. Till next time, goodbye.